Happy Friday. Oh gosh, I'm so excited that it's Friday evening. Welcome, ladies, to day 4 of 5 Focus Secrets. I hope that you guys are joining me tonight. I didn't make it live last night. I went and got my hair done and things went a little bit skew with from a timing perspective. But hey, that's why we're in business for ourselves, isn't it? We get to decide how we're going to spend our time. Last night I chose to have the wild and woolly locks cut off. So welcome. If you're catching the replay, jump forward a minute or so because I always waffle on a wee bit at the start. And when you do jump on, make sure that you say hello. Let me know where you're from so that I can say thanks for watching. And do chat with me because I love to be chatted with when I am online. I'm feeling the Friday vibes. There's something about a Friday afternoon that just, I don't know, it's just this slide on into the weekend. I have a 2-year-old birthday party tomorrow and a bubble cake to make, and I have no idea how I'm going to make the bubble cake, but it'll all be fine. I know it'll be fine. All right, so let's get into it. Before I get started on what day 4 is about, I thought I should do a quick recap. Hey there, Alison, how you doing? So, 5 Focus Secrets. This is all about the 5 things that I focus on in my business to get rid of the confusion and the overwhelm. And when I don't really know what it is I need to do next, I come back to these 5 things and go, okay, those are the things that I have to keep getting right, keep doing diligently, be consistent, all that kind of jazz. And so we've been talking about them all week. If you haven't caught the other replays, you can get them on my page or in the tribe. And you can also sign up and get forever access. These videos aren't going to stay up for too much longer, just a couple more days, and then they will come down. But if you want to be able to go back and refer to them, then, excuse me, sign up at the link above the video, which is the bit.ly link /5 Focus Secrets. All right, so let's just quickly recap. On Monday, we covered your vision. Now, this is the thing that most people completely overlook in their business. A lot of people think that, well, there's usually 2 schools of thought, maybe 3. Some people actually do it and do a really great job, don't get me wrong. Some people spend too much time and effort in their vision and they never actually get to the doing part. And then there are the other people who think that it's this fluffy thing that you don't really need to do. And why is it of value? Why do I spend my time on it? It is really important. It is about alignment. It is about knowing where you're going in your business. It's about being able to really ground yourself in that vision and results so that you know what you need to do to get there. And it's different for your business than it is for your life. You know, that ideal life, the vision of how you want to be living, that is a different thing. In fact, that plays into another aspect of a focus area, which I'm going to touch on tomorrow night, so I won't dive into that too much now. Then on Tuesday, we talked about dealing with spinning head syndrome. So this is about getting your messaging right. It's about knowing what you stand for, and it's your brand foundation. And I'm not talking about the colors and the images and the stuff that's really pretty about our brand. I'm talking about the stuff that's right at the middle, at the core of you, your values, what you stand for, knowing what your underlying message is and knowing how to weave that through everything that you say. That's what we talked about on Tuesday. The messaging that you have at your core, when you're being really honest and true and authentic, that's what attracts your ideal clients to you. And then on Wednesday, my approach to ensuring you are actually working on the 5% moneymaker activities is what we were jamming on. And this is all about your business model. It's about knowing how you make money in your business, knowing the streams that money comes to you through in your business. It's about being really deliberate about designing those. So how passive are they? How active are they? Is it really just like a job and you're doing a time for money exchange, or you're creating leverage in your business where you've got a one-to-many relationship with your clients? So we talked about that, and we talked about your 5% activities being the ones that directly contribute towards generating revenue in your business. So today I am talking all about how to figure out what the heck you are meant to be doing with your marketing strategy so that you are finally getting traction and attracting those ideal clients to you like bees to a honeypot. Now, this is without the what do I say overwhelm that is probably plaguing most of you right now. Now, I call it your tortoise and your hare marketing strategy. And if you've hung around me at all, you would have heard me talk about your superpowers. I strongly believe that we all have several superpowers, actually. We just need to learn to trust ourselves and wield them. And one of them is your marketing superpower. So what has this got to do with focus? Your marketing superpower is about your force for good. It's the thing that you are amazing at, and you might not actually yet know what that is. So that's okay if you're sitting there going, yeah, you're a nutcase, Nick. I'm not good at any of the marketing things yet. Yet is the really important word there. There is something that you are going to be really, really incredible at. And it helps you overcome some of these sensations. So let me ask you some questions here. Do you feel like you need to be everywhere in social? Like, be really honest with yourself. Isn't there a lot of pressure? Be on Facebook, post in Facebook groups, post on your page, have your own Facebook group, do advertising, use your profile wisely, don't get put in Facebook jail. And that's just one platform. Instagram, do Insta stories. Now there's Insta TV. You have to post every single day. You have to comment on other people's stuff. You have to collaborate with people. And Pinterest and Twitter and LinkedIn and all of these different strategies. Have an email list. Make sure you go out to them every single week. I'm not saying that those things aren't important, but they might not be important for right now, okay? And it's really important that you have focus in your marketing strategy. So you don't have to be everywhere, even though it feels like you might need to be everywhere. Alison, are you saying no, you don't feel like that? That is amazing. Do you love posting on social? Some people don't. Some people find it really draining. And when you're focusing on activities in your marketing that, A, you can't see line of sight for how you're going to really find your ideal client, and B, it drains your energy, then you're not going to be putting your best foot forward with your message either. And so it has this double whammy impact on the results and the impact that you're able to make. So have a think about how meaningful your engagement is across the different platforms that you show up on, and how genuine is your messaging. Because I find that we get so stretched, we stretch ourselves so thinly, and it's easy to fall prey to all the experts out there who are touting their wares. Actually, there are lots of really, really talented people who are exceptional at the platform that they're promoting their skill set in. It's just that you don't need to be doing all of it. So how are you going to know what are the bits that are important for you? Well, your superpower is how you're going to know, because it's going to naturally lend itself to particular ways of showing up in your marketing. Now, it is important to align that to your ideal client and where they show up as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's dive into how to find your superpower. So think about what sort of situations you feel most comfortable communicating in. So are you great one-on-one? Are you really good in a group environment? Do you love public speaking? Do you love big parties, or do you prefer small intimate gatherings? Have a think about the sorts of situations where you just know that you're going to be really, really comfortable and you have no problem communicating with people and getting your message across. Think about then, in those, when do you feel most able to get your message across easily? So is it when you're not the center of attention, or is it when people are all looking at you and that kind of really energizes you? There are certain personality types which lend us to getting energized by different situations. extroverted people tend to be really energized by lots of people and, highly energetic environments. And introverted people tend to be more energized by smaller, intimate environments. Excuse me. Think about what you absolutely love doing. And this is from a communication perspective. Maybe you love teaching. Maybe you love performing. Maybe you hate being in really big group environments, but you love performing. Think about the things that you absolutely love doing, or the things that you love the idea of doing. So when I first started using live video as the cornerstone of my marketing strategy, I didn't know that it was something that I would actually love, or that people would connect with me quite well on. I just knew that I loved the idea of it. And I knew that I was pretty good in front of a room of people. And I don't mean public speaking, so a room full of strangers, but a sort of medium-sized gathering. I've done big ones too, but where I'm facilitating something. I know that I'm really comfortable in that kind of environment. I tend to do really well. And so I loved the idea of being able to do that from home. I'm an introvert. I loved the idea of being able to do that from behind my computer, but still communicate with people and have that interaction with them and do some teaching and do some facilitation. And so I loved the idea of what live presented to me. Excuse me. So I tried it, and I kept at it and I practiced it, and now it's something that I'm really comfortable doing. So if you love the idea of doing something, then what have you tried and what were the real results? So ask people for feedback. Ask people to tell you what they liked most about it. Ask them what sort of message they got from you, so that you can get that feedback that tells you, well, this is what I thought I was saying. What were they actually hearing? Because depending on how comfortable you are in the environment, sometimes your message gets lost. And again, we all prepare our messaging in different ways. I tend to do it from notes. And so I will have a few dot points if it's a topic I'm really comfortable with. But if it's a topic that I maybe haven't talked about before, then I'll put a little bit more detail into it. But then it's really important that I riff on it, because if I just read it, then it comes across not in a very natural way. So have a think about those things. That's how you find your superpower. So what can a marketing superpower be? I've talked about live video, recorded video, audio, things like podcasts, radio shows, that sort of thing. Written word, you might be really great at artistic presentation of visual images and those sorts of things. You might be really, really good one-on-one or in a group networking environment, or presentation or teaching. There are lots of different things that can be at the center of your marketing strategy. What's important is you must love it, and you must be able to do it relatively effortlessly, because we are all incredibly, I don't want to use the word busy, but we are people who live very full lives as mums in business. We have, kids, we have house, we probably have a job somewhere, we probably volunteer, we do extra things, friends, family, business, all of this stuff like wrapped into one life. And so it needs to be something that doesn't freak you out and take you a week to prepare for, because that's not something you're going to stick to. Because the third point is you must be prepared to keep doing it. So I'm talking now about your tortoise strategy. Your tortoise is about consistency and leverage. Value, people. Value every single week, delivered via your superpower, and then leveraged all over the place. And this is where the focus bit comes from. Because if you're really deliberate and you go, okay, this week I'm going to talk about this topic. For me this week it's focus. And then each day this week, I'm going to go boop, 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 boop. Those are my 5 topics that I'm going to talk about. It doesn't have to be one every day. It depends on what it is you're talking about. And then I'm going to give value to my audience on those topics. The thing that makes it really, really powerful is the leverage piece. So what is it? How are you delivering it? And how can you use it in multiple different ways everywhere? I heard someone say the other day that they don't do anything unless they're able to leverage it in at least 3 ways in their business. So for example, the Mums in Biz show. I do that every Monday and I talk about a new topic and I have my themes planned in advance. It's really easy for me to just show up and do that. And if I don't have time to prepare, I can usually whack out a couple of dot points at some point during the morning and still be able to deliver the show. That covers my business page. It gets shared into my tribe. I turn it into a blog post. So I put the video onto my website with some words around it. Usually I've done the prep work, and so it doesn't take me very long to write that because I just need to flesh out those dot points. I turn that into an email that I can send out to my list, so they're getting fresh content every week. And I can leverage that in some of the other online forums that I'm in. There is a membership that I'm in that we share our content, so I'm able to share it there. I might be able to pull pieces out of that messaging and use those in my social posts for the week. Like this course, for example, I'm able to use it as an opt-in because I give people the ability to sign up so that they can have access to the videos for the lifetime of the page, really. And so there are multiple ways that I can leverage the things that I do. What's really important with your tortoise is sticking at it. So it's a slow marketing strategy. It's generally organic. It's generally not paid. When you're building an audience and being really, you have to be deliberate about it. There's important steps that you take to get the message out there and grow your reach a bit. You need to be doing it and committed to do it for at least 6 to 12 months. That's how long it takes for your tortoise to really start to pay off. But in the long run, it's going to be the strategy that is going to bring you the most value. You have to have your hair strategy, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit just briefly, to get you through different promotional activities and also to have things happening during that 6 to 12 months. And obviously you're doing all sorts of stuff, to build business as you're going. It's not like you have to wait 6 to 12 months for results, but to see really the impact, because we know that exponential curve looks like that. And so what happens if you kind of give up here and you're 8 months in and you've put in all this effort and you've seen a little bit of growth and you're actually just before the kicker, but you give up because you haven't seen it? It's really important to remember that. Just keep doing it. If you are committed to your business and if you are committed to your vision, and this is really important, if you've got the belief and you're determined to keep working on your mindset and take the deliberate actions that you know you need to take, then you will get the results, but you will only get them if you stick at it. And that message goes for actually everything to do with your business, but it's particularly relevant today because I'm talking about hair marketing strategies. So is that making sense? Let me know if what I'm saying makes sense. So the the tortoise marketing strategy is about building your audience, okay? Your hare, the fast one, and for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, the tortoise and the hare, the kids' story where they decide to both have a race, and because the hare brags about always being quicker, but the tortoise wins the race because the tortoise is slow and steady and strategic, and the hare is, cocky and fast and thinks he's going to win it and does some stupid stuff, and it kind of derails everything along the way. Okay, so your hair is about your short-term marketing spurts. It's fast, it's cocky, it's energetic. There's probably some paid marketing in there somewhere, and it's about leveraging your tortoise and your message to build short spurts of activity. So really well suited to when you're doing a promotion of some description, where you want to get a lot of energy going and you want to get some people converted, or increase the number of people coming to you for a particular service or product or whatever that looks like. Okay, So your message and growing your audience is literally the first step towards growing your business. There are only two, really: grow an audience and sell them what they want. I talk about James Wedmore a bit. He says that all the time. But it's really true. You need people to sell to, and you need to know stuff about them. You need to know what their problems are. You need to know how to solve it. And then you need to sell them what they want to solve their problem. It's very straightforward. We make it complex. And so we spend all this time learning all these things so that we can be an expert in our business and then succeed, when really all we need to do is just start and get some stuff going. So go and figure out what your marketing superpower is, or what you think it is. It's okay to change your mind as long as you're doing something deliberate and taking action every single day. I may very well decide to turn the Mums in Biz show into a podcast as well. That's another way that I can leverage the work that I'm doing on my live video. But it's not the cornerstone of my strategy just yet. It's just something that I could do. So have you really started? Really challenge yourself on this, or are you playing around the edges of your business? Have a real think about that. And what I mean by that is, when I was moving for Nick T coaching, so my business in its current form, I played around the edges for a while. Like, I kind of, well, for a start, I did the visual part of my brand before I did the important part, all of that kind of stuff. We do the whiz bang shiny stuff. We might half build an opt-in. We kind of have a haphazard social posting strategy. We tell ourselves that we're too busy, we can't find the time to do the stuff, when in actual fact, we're just not focusing on the right things. Because you don't have to spend a lot of time, particularly if your business has a large online component. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You have to spend time on the right things. So how consistent are you in your marketing right now? Think about if you were sitting there in 3 months' time and you just knew that you were committed to, and all you were doing was implementing a solid visibility strategy. You're just executing on it because you've got a plan. I just execute on my marketing plan, and it's pretty straightforward to do because I've got the focus. Does that make sense? So instead of feeling that, guilty, ashamed, like we feel like defeated sometimes. I feel guilty, or I used to. I'd feel guilty because I hadn't done the post today, or, oh God, I haven't shown up in those 3 groups over there for a few days, and I haven't emailed my list, or, whatever. And that negative energy just eats away at your confidence. You let it mean something. I find that it would deflate my energy around my business. It was almost like, how when you get really fit, and it takes heaps of effort and energy to get super fit, and you get a cold and you don't exercise for a week and you feel like you've gone back 3 months. It can be like that with confidence in business. You form these habits and you put all this hard work in, and you're like, yep, I've got a great rhythm, doing what I need to do. It feels really well. It feels really good. And then you get derailed by something not going right, and you attach a meaning to it, and you let it, tell yourself all these stories about what you are or aren't good at, and all these feelings come in, and boom, it's only 3 or 4 days and you've completely lost your mojo. Alison says, your superpower, you love one-on-one problem solving and providing solutions. You're like a helicopter. You see the big picture and then hone in and help sort the problem. That is awesome. How can you turn that into something you can leverage across a bigger audience? Have a think about that. And we can discuss that in the student group on Monday. So one of the things that I focus on when I'm working with my clients is finding their superpower, and then figuring out how to leverage it, which is what I was just talking about with Alison. How do you leverage your superpower across a bigger audience? How do you use it to grow your audience? And it's about minimum effort for maximum results with your tortoise. Yeah. So think about with your superpower. I've completely swapped two paragraphs around, but I wanted to say the other one, so I'm going to say it anyway. Think about a time when someone has reached out to you to tell you how much they loved something that you wrote or said. Doesn't that feel amazing? To know that you've made an impact for someone? Those are the feelings that you need to hang on to with your marketing strategy, particularly the slow one, because and it's happened to me a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and it's been such a great reinforcer where someone has said, I never really comment, but I just wanted to tell you that I love watching your videos and I always get something out of them. And it was a person, like, their name wasn't super familiar to me. They really aren't a commenter. There are people watching and listening to what you're doing, and you are making an impact for them. So when people do reach out and tell you, wow, that was amazing, thank you so much, package that up and store that little kernel away for when you are feeling doubt. Because marketing it's like any other part of your business, and it really can be hard to keep the faith. Okay, I want you to promise me that you're going to do that. So, as I was saying, when I work with my clients, we focus on figuring out what that superpower is and honing it, turning that into a marketing strategy, a visibility strategy for how you're going to get yourself out there and build your audience. It's one of the things that we focus on in Empowered CEO Academy. Good grief, you would think that I had already had the glass of bubbles that is sitting here waiting for me to finish so I can celebrate my Friday evening with my husband, but I have not. So in ECA, we focus on your marketing strategy, and you will be confidently taking action, and you will be showing up consistently by the end of the program, because you will know exactly what it is you need to do. We will practice it together. We will hone your message, and we will know what it is that you need to do to reach your audience and then grow it. Your ideal client cannot resist you showing up consistently and confidently giving your message. I promise that to you. Most importantly, though, what we've worked on is so that you can figure out exactly what it looks like for you, right? My marketing strategy won't work for you. And that's why there are lots of people out there who have said, oh, well, I've, reverse engineered what that person does, or I watch those free webinars or do the free courses and those sorts of things, and getting it to work for you doesn't quite come off the way you think it's going to come off. There are two reasons for that. The first one is headspace, mindset, and not really believing in what is possible and not really trusting yourself to deliver those results for yourself. And then the second thing is, it might not actually be the right strategy for you because it's not really aligned with either your message or your vision or how you want your business to look, or what you're really passionate about, your values. And so that's why some of those strategies don't work. It's about cherry picking. Like there's a certain number of ways to skin the cat. You just need to figure out what the right one is for you. That's a terrible analogy, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to use that one anymore. Anyway, and so we work out where we need to focus to help you shed that fear, to shed the discomfort about sharing your message. Because empowered CEOs, my loves, step up for their message and they find the courage to share it. And that's what we work on together, is where is your courage? How do we find your courage? And sometimes you just got to do the scary thing. And so you do that in an environment of support and with your tribe around you and with a mentor that really, really is in your corner and rooting for your business success. So you all know that ECA is open for enrollments right now. And I am looking for 10 driven, passionate, willing to roll their sleeves up women who are going to ask themselves the hard questions and who just want to make a difference and who want to be sitting at the other end of a 90-day journey with absolute clarity on where they're going next, what their business is going to look like, what they need to look like, with their inner confidence just exposed, not hidden under all these layers of uncertainty and doubt and fear. And we will tackle all of that during ECA. And you will know what your done business is going to look like, and you won't have to hustle to get there. You just need to do the work and follow the plan and have a solid strategy, because you've got that clarity and you know what's coming next. And that's where the results come from. The most important thing, though, is that you will believe, and you'll believe in yourself, and you'll believe in your ability to make a difference and a transformation for your clients. And so that is what ECA is all about. It's a group coaching program. It's 3 months in duration. We do weekly calls. You have access to all of my online materials, and we do that guided. I do learning every week, which is not available in my program, as well as that group ongoing coaching environment through our chat for the group coaching chat. There you go. Goodness me. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff that's rolled up and included in that. And the first 5 ladies who enroll also get one-on-one Voxer access to me for the duration of the program, which is really pretty priceless, actually. And so I would love to invite you to come and join me in ECA. I would love to talk to you about that. If you've got questions, let me pop the link in here, please reach out and ask them, because what is it going to do for you and for your business if you take the step, if you invest in yourself, if you prove to yourself that you believe in yourself enough to invest in your development and build your belief? I can tell you from experience that backing yourself, because that's what I did and have done early. I've actually spent a huge amount on personal development, both in my career and now in my business, because I know that when I invest in myself, I take the action and I do what it takes to get the results. It builds that belief and proves to yourself that you're worth it. All right, well, that is me for tonight, my lovely ladies. Check out Empowered CEO Academy. At the link that I've just popped into the chat box there, and come and join me tomorrow. I'm going to go live. I'm probably going to do it in the morning. I'm thinking about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to do day 5 of 5 Focus Secrets. And we're going to be covering what to do when you have lost your way and have no idea which way to go next in your business. This is one thing that nearly everyone is doing badly. Okay, and you can get a leg up over the competition by getting this right every single time. So make sure you join me tomorrow. And yes, Alison, am going to go and drink my champagne. I hope you all have a fabulous Friday evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.